Hello and welcome to episode 24 of Canutillo Convos, the official Canutillo ISD podcast. I'm Gustavo Reveles, the Director of Communications, and I'm here with our fearless leader, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Pedro Galaviz.
Pedro Galaviz.
And of course we have also Laura.
They may stop that, right?
Yeah.
When we play music.
Well, I have a feeling that Tejano music will go.
There's no Tejano music here in El Paso, man.
No,
I don't know what you guys dance to. What do you dance to?
Cumbias.
Cumbia. You can only do it so much. Come on.
Cumbias and
Tocable, you got Mas, La Mafia. You guys are missing out.
No, we're cool. We're cool. This is the real Texas right here.
It is. It is the real Texas. A beautiful part of Texas.
Doc, we just finished having a great social sort of gathering here in central office, and I know it happened everywhere throughout the district schools, and our other facilities were doing this too. It's a unofficial holiday, Super Bowl weekend, and it's a good opportunity for us to sort of just kind of decompress as schools, as employees, and gather and really just be grateful and sharing our experience as employees and friends, really.
It's like the Super Bowl, the Green Bay Packers, who should be in the Super Bowl, but fortunately, because of political reasons and
political reasons, meaning they lose football games.
Las Vegas, probably throwing games, probably. Because we're probably the best team in America. But anyways,
well, let me just say, because to that point, if it's really rigged, the Washington Commanders, who are the best team in the country, in my opinion, would have already had enough money.
That's an opinion.
It is.
It's like a nose. Everyone has one.
Sure.
That's what makes our country a great place. No, but I mean, it's really a team effort, and then. We had December, and then we had MLK Day, and it gives us just another day just to stop, look at our team, and just say thank you. We appreciate you for your contributions to what we do every day, which is student learning and kids, just like we were at the Raise Your Hand Texas at Reyes, talking about accountability. But also we have, as an organization, have to be accountable for our staff and wishing them wellness and just say thank you. So that's just the way what we did.
And we earlier today, Doc, we were talking about how things look as far as compensation goes, and obviously we want to make sure that we're competitive in salaries, we're competitive in benefits, but attracting people to our system goes beyond that. It's an important part, no doubt. But people want to work in an environment where they feel appreciated, where they feel like they're part of a system that's doing something. Talk about building community and building that sense of togetherness and how important that is to you.
Yeah, that's what we measure every day. It's about culture. It's about culture, about being, like you said, appreciated, say thank you. Not a top-down culture, pointing fingers, but again, we want to appreciate the diversity of not only of the human beingness as far as people's ethnic and races, but also that diversity in thinking and having different ideas, like we were talking about compensation and about how can we again be respectful of today's prices of inflation, the cost of eggs, but yet be realistic in our budget, because we also have to be fiscally responsible to our taxpayers and the money. You have to live within your means, So.
Yeah, and I think that finding that balance is important, because we want to make sure that we show our employees the proper gratitude, not just through these programs that we have, but through pay. That's the main way. But you're right. Especially as we go out and talk to community members, they want to make sure that we're fiscally responsible, that we are that we are managing our money well, and we are. We just got an award from TASPO, the Texas Association of School Business Officers, as one of the top districts being managed well and showing fiscal responsibility.
Yeah, because you want to, you don't want to give, for example, a pay increase if it's not sustainable.
Yes.
And if it's not sustainable, because when you do that, you're taking away from the kids. You're basically, because you're promising the adults a certain rate, but then next year you may not be able to afford it. So your plan has to be viable, has to be sustainable, and also you still have to deliver, because it's just not about the pay. It's about what outcome are we, what opportunities are we giving our kids?
Right.
Are they being successful?
And that's something I don't think a lot of people understand, that when you give a pay raise in 1 year, it means you have to give a pay raise for every year thereafter.
Yeah.
That 2% increase 1 year is a 2% increase the next year as well. That you don't take it back.
Because people say, again, and the research supports this, that money doesn't bring happiness. It doesn't make you healthier. Yeah. It doesn't make your marriage better. It doesn't make you raising your child better. It gives you more opportunities, but what you do with that, it doesn't necessarily make you happy. It's one aspect of your life.
Right.
And again, you shouldn't, in my opinion, you shouldn't define yourself by what you drive or where you live or what you eat or what you don't eat. That's just. But you should define yourself by your heart and what you give. So it's not about being competitive with the other districts. It's about, again, being content and are we delivering a viable service to our kids.
And to that point is making sure that everything we do as a school district, whether it's for adults or not, that in the end it benefits kids.
Yeah,
right?
It has to add value. It has to add value. Right. Just like we said at Raise Your Hand Texas at that event at Ray is about building the next generation. It's not building me or building my portfolio. It's building the next generation so they can, again, become our next thinkers, innovators, and creators.
And I think we have that district, Doug. We have a district of innovation here. We have a district, and not just in title from TEA. I mean it in the way we do things and the way we approach things. We talked earlier today in a meeting about how you're always questioning the status quo, making sure that we're not doing things just because we've done it that way all the time. That if things merit being challenged, then we should challenge them. And we've done that as a school district, and it's paid off. It's paid off in the way that our students are learning and our teachers are teaching.
Part of when people ask me, what's your your advantages or your leadership style and what's bad is I'm very impatient, because sometimes it's not fast enough. It's not, because now you got to get everybody, and many people are very I don't say many, but it's that comfort level. That comfort. They come in, they clock in. Like, I don't think professionals or anybody should clock in. I really don't. You got to trust the organization. The organization has to trust the individual to do their job. And when you got clocking in, clocking out, that's back in the old days when my dad was a worker and he had to punch in and punch out. Yeah. Fred Flintstone, those who remember, Laura's probably don't remember Fred. Pedro Pica Piedra. They call him Pedro Pica Piedra. Yeah. But but that you gotta trust.
Yeah, I think having rejoined the school district, just recently, I tell you that I myself appreciate that sort of freedom and that allowance to do that. Because we hardly do we say no, we can't do it. We just say, how do we do it? And we approach challenges that way. How can we get it done? And it's not always feasible or possible, but it's always studied. It's always, It's always something that we talk about and see if we can do it, and not a lot of school districts do that.
Well, I don't. I guess I go back to Biden's on Tuesday, the State of the Union, and I. When he said that we're a country of possibilities, all of this could not be done what we see today if people did not challenge the current reality or of their own today. The electric cars that you see them all over now.
Right.
Everyone's doing electric cars because they're challenging, hey, fossil fuel, and is it good for the climate? Is it not? Is it, how do we build a better tomorrow? And so, and education should not be impervious to change. And I think that's the, for me, frustrating part, because we keep going back to that one teacher, the classroom, and we have brilliant teachers that, if allowed, they could do a lot other great things. So
yeah, and again, allowing us to, that philosophy that you're mentioning allows us to really go beyond traditional teaching and learning. No longer is sit and get part of the formula here, because that's just not.
Yeah, just like for example, I don't see how charter schools can just build schools.
Right.
You see them left and right. They're going all over. I mean, right by
in our backyard.
Socorro High School, there's a brand idea, and it's like, why does Socorro have to go out for a bond and they're just building?
Right.
Why? I don't understand that. I mean, if you want vouchers, you governor and you whoever is listening, and then untie my hands,
right,
so I can work.
And that's truly the root of all this of our complaints, right? Is that it's not a level playing field. It's not the rules that apply to traditional public school systems don't always apply to even other entities or other school systems, and it really ties us down. And at the end of the day, it makes us the bad guys. We are the bad guys when it comes to, taxation, bond elections, all these things. It's the system's designed to make school districts, school leadership, and school boards the boogeyman, right? We're the bad guys. We're the ones raising your taxes. We're the ones doing, not meeting expectations. But we're really at the behest of the state and what they force us to do. The system's not designed by school systems. The system's designed by the state.
Well, it's designed by politicians, right?
Yes.
Politicians who I mean, that's another vex, if you will. But again, if you want vouchers, you want kids to be able to go to Loretto Cathedral or wherever they want to go, right? Parents, then allow me to work.
Right.
And let's all go mano a mano. Let's go head to head.
And I think if we were given that opportunity to really go head to head with resources being equal, I think we would have a very fair fight, if not even an unfair fight in our favor. Just this week we had top educators.
Fine arts.
And our fine arts kids were unprecedented. Like we had 17 kids in our solo and ensemble music program qualified to state. We've had, the gallery just reopened. We've had, someone visiting from the federal government to take a look at our dual language program and was so impressed that she asked us to do a video on what she saw. Great things are happening here. And that's all with limited resources, with our hands tied, like you said, and given the opportunity to really go, full blast.
It's like when we were talking to that lady from D.C., right? And we were talking about the shortage of teachers.
Yes.
Well, why can't we go to the motherland? Juarez right there, and get our dual language teachers, our bilingual teachers, our Montessori teachers. Why can't they have a visa? Why can't the government create a pass lane so that they don't have to go through the checkpoint? And just allow me to work with the resources that we have, and boom, I'll get you results.
And that your message to the community this week is precisely about that. The dual language visit, and your point about making sure that that the federal government is aware of some of the challenges that we have in staffing dual language classrooms, and how close we are to hundreds and hundreds of teachers that qualify, that could help us meet that need, but our hands are tied.
And it's just tied by bureaucracy.
Yeah.
That's why I go back to President Biden. You talk about possibilities, well, then open it up.
Yeah.
You were just here. You were just looking at
The immigration
Yeah,
issue.
the immigration, but were you really looking at what we really do here? And that's part of the educational system.
Yeah.
And I challenged the Secretary of Ed, Mayorkas, to come out here. Being Puerto Rico is a lot different from Mexico.
Yeah.
It's a lot different. We're a different.
Or a different breed.
Yeah, we're a different breed. We're
Yeah.
Tejano music.
Well, not just that, but we obviously have a community here in El Paso that is impacted by immigration, by our cultural ties to Mexico, and that's not going to change. It's not, things are not going to change.
And it shouldn't change. You should.
Right.
I mean, I think how the city and I know he graduated from Tech, but Tommy Gonzalez, our city manager, I mean, that's how he markets. He looks at Las Cruces, he looks at Juarez, and that's how he markets El Paso. About you got millions of people. If you add Juarez and El Paso.
Well, and you bring a great point, because when it comes to marketing, business people have always seen El Paso and Juarez as one, right? They understand that when it comes to making money, that's one community. But in everything else, we seem to sort of especially when it comes to social services, we split it right at the river, and we don't understand how one impacts the other.
Yeah, it reminds me of my brother when you're eating and all of a sudden he has alligator arms when it comes to getting the check.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, Ramon, where's your what? I forgot my wallet. I was like, now I got Venmo. Go ahead, Venmo.
I got Venmo.
No, but again, it's just let's use all our resources for every system. And
Right.
again, that word simplicity. It's not just simple; it's complex at the same time. But putting our heads together and for and having a true heart and a true moral compass of where we're going, he'll lead us, whoever he is or she. Someone's gonna lead us.
So big weekend,
Big
Doc.
weekend.
Super Bowl. Who you're going for?
Because I have to stay. Part of me wants Mahomes because he went to Texas Tech, and yeah, you want a Texas boy. But again, I think another great thing is it's Black History Month. You're going to have the first time two
African
American quarterbacks, two black quarterbacks. So.
And I just want to point out that the first African American quarterback to win a Super Bowl was the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, he was. That was.
Doug Williams. Yeah.
What was that? The 70s?
87.
1987?
1987.
Wow.
And he was a backup quarterback.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, but I guess the Packers are in the NFC, so I always have to go home. But for me, again, when your team's out, right? You haven't been in the playoffs how long?
You know what?
So
we haven't been in a Super Bowl since 1991, but it's okay.
It's just good about a time just to be with your family and hang out and enjoy the commercials.
And watch Rihanna at the halftime.
Because they always have those cute little puppies.
Oh, the Puppy Bowl.
The Puppy Bowl.
That's what Lauda's going to watch.
Yeah, so, but just looking forward to some great things. Also, Monday, we're interviewing for the next, our vacancy for trustee.
The school board will decide. They're scheduled to decide on who they'll fill for that vacancy on the board. So we'll have a full board of trustees hopefully by the end of this month.
And Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day.
So big week next week. Lauda, who are you going for in the Super Bowl?
No idea.
No idea?
I don't sport.
You don't sport?
Nope.
Come on, girl.
Do you even watch?
No.
You don't watch?
Never
Halftime.
seen the Super Bowl. No.
Really? You don't
Really?
see the Super Bowl?
I see the commercial stuff.
The commercials are cool.
Yeah.
So you always see the
It's
Clydesdale, those
The
big
Clydesdale,
horses.
yeah.
The big horses.
The big Budweiser horses, yeah.
Yeah. They spend a lot of money on those commercials.
Yeah, they do.
What's the average at? Like million?
Oh, it's over $1 million,
Yeah.
yeah. Over $1 million per 60 seconds.
we should have. Never mind.
You want to do a commercial for Canutillo ISD on the Super Bowl? Like, well, you know, I've seen that happen.
Really?
School districts do, yeah, last year. But I still maintain that the best commercial for your school district is making sure you're kicking butt, and we are.
And being nice, being
Yeah.
welcoming to our parents and our kids. Because again, we're dependent on them
Yeah, definitely.
versus them. But anyways, go Packers, go Philly, go. As long as everybody's safe. I guess now you saw a lot of
Yeah.
injuries in football. As long as there's no
No injuries,
and
no
those
cardiac arrest or
those,
anything like that.
those players go home to their
Yes.
families.
Yeah,
You know,
we
they're
want it to be a
coaching.
happy Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Everybody, be safe. Don't eat too much. We want to see everybody back on Monday.
See you at Planet Fitness. See you there. Yeah, you got to keep all those
You gotta keep all those New Year's
New Year
resolutions.
resolutions. Let's go. Let's keep going. Stay
Mine was
healthy and
never
happy.
to set foot in a gym. So,
Hey,
so far, so good.
Yeah, I'll be good. Thank you, Canutillo.
All right. Have a good weekend,
Take
everybody.
care.